Boys and girls, welcome to Friday night for the TTFL League. We are live in Belgium for tonight, and we're going to be in for an amazing race around Belgium. One of my favourite tracks, one of Canada's, one of many. Hope it's your guys' favourites as well. Belgium situated around the Ardennes Forest, around about 8 to 9 kilometres long, equivalent to about 4 miles. Longest track on the F1 Canada, and it's been around since back in the days of the 50s and 60s. Now, Belgium has its histories of incidents and obviously great racing along the way, and has been modified since the days of the early 50s and 60s, which has now given us this lovely glorious tracks, and also been modified as well to fit into modern standards as well, to fit in with the safety grounds. Before I carry on with the histories and everything like that, so we're going to go through respectfully the driver standards and the constructor standings as of round 12. So then, start off with drivers first. Then we have got VG Hamilton in P1 at the moment with 143 points. We got Siege in second with 123. We got Spike in third with 116 points. We got the Gort in fourth with 105. We got Lambo in fifth with 103. We got Jay in sixth with 61. We got Poe in seventh with 48. We got Ollie P in eighth with 44 points. We got VSR Francis in ninth with 43 points. We also tied with Superguy NL, who is retired. We've got Plaster then in 11th with 37 points. We've got Mace in 12th, whose class is retired, with 32 points. We've got Darren Sinclair in 13th with 26 points. We've got Ollie P, TTG Ollie in 14th with 23 points. We've got Max Smith in 15th with 22 points. We've got Spaghetti Chips in 16th with 21 points. We've got Fredo in 17th with 20 points, also tied with Kieran with 20 points there as well. We've got Technique Gaming in 19th, who's retired with 19 points. We've got Clifford Red in 20th with 16 points. We've got Weed Nation in 21st with 15 points, also tied with Struth, and also Alan K as well. We've got SJ Mello in 24th with 14 points. We've got Zenki in 25th with 12 points. We've got TG Jez in 26th with 10 points. We've got Damien B in 27th with 8 points. Milton Matt in 28th, who's retired with 6 points. And we got Uzi in 29th with 2 points. So that is the driver standing so far. And the constructors, we have got Red Bull then in top with 187 points. We've got the McLarens in second with 173 points. We've got the Mercedes in third with 157. Force India at fourth with 147. Renault at fifth with 136. Haas at sixth with 101 points. Also joined with them is Toro Rosso in seventh place with 86 points. We've got the Sabers then in 8th with 82 points. We've got the Throws in 9th with 57. And the Williams in 10th with 36 points. So that is your drivers and constructors there respectively. So then, with the back to tonight's then with Spa, got legendary corners around this glorious, amazing racetrack situated in the Ardennes Forest. We got La Source, which is turn 1. We got El Rouge and Radion. We also got the Kemmel Straight. We also got Le Combs. We also got Rivage. We also got Puon. Got Stavalo, and also Blanchimont. And the last and not least, we had the bus stop chicane, or should I say the former known as bus stop chicane. We still would class it as that because it still holds its title. So, little bit of a quiz for you as I'm going to impose for tonight then. 1998 was the amazing race in the full wet conditions around Spa. Now, with all the mayhem that's going on, and also with this, I want you all to know your knowledge and not to look up on the internet whatsoever. Whoever gets this right will be mentioned at the end of the stream. I want to put down your answers in the comments. the winner of the 1998 Spa-Francorchamps Grand Prix, and also the constructors as well, for a bonus point as well. If you get the constructors and the driver right, or one of the two, you get mentioned at the end. So we're then just waiting for qualifying then to get underway. All the drivers are all lined up nicely there. Bear in mind the question, do not look up on the internet, know your knowledge. Right then, so we have got 15 races tonight then, and 18 laps worth of qualifying, and a dry qualifying session so far then. Now we're just waiting for the drivers there to get their setups on. Once I do that, I might as well get all the tyre selections up as well, what they currently got fitted on. So the tyres we've got round here tonight then, we have got the super softs, we have got the softs and the mediums. I believe, if I got it correctly, I don't think they would be ultra softs. No, softs. Super soft, softs and mediums. Yep, I got it right, Steph. Get it in your head. So then we got the Red Bull coming out. It looks like that was Hamilton coming out, but we also got, looks like the Sauber out as well. We're trying to track down, here it is. And it is Struth that is out on track first then. So he'll be my little track guinea pig guide as always. And also, yep, indeed, the other car coming out with Red Bull was indeed confirmed as Hamilton as well. At the moment, most of the drivers are in the pits, mostly likely to go out on super softs. TTG Ollie is in on the soft tyres, and as is going on now, Ollie P has selected for the harder compounds, as he likes to get himself a use qualifying as practice run to set his time later on. But no, Spa is an amazing track. I do love this track. Throws out all actions and everything, including the weather as well. Obviously, at the moment, it is a dry running and a very sunny day here in Belgium. So the drivers will be mighty pleased with that. Although some will be hoping for a bit of rain to spice up a bit more. Time will tell when we come to race. Most of the drivers here will be eager to get out as well, because obviously with Spa being the longest track, time is very precious and you want to make the most of it as much as you can. So then we are going to be going on board with Struth then, and once he just getting himself ready to go out for a flyer, and there we go, takes a wide line around the bus stop chicane then. And first on 2 DRS zones activated, and over the line we go. Now headed down towards turn 1 there, crew to get your braking point at 100 metre board, go around the source. Hit the apex nicely there, you get a good line there. A little bit wide on the apex, but back end wanted to come out on the exit, but get away with it. Now head down towards a ridge, which is now halfway up, which is about now, is now Radion. Again, committed, fully flat out here from Struth. Now heading down towards the camera straight. DRS is open. Keeping him in the middle at the moment, but now ventures off to the left to get himself ready up for Lake Combs. Now it's crucial to get this nice bit of section to spot on. It helps you out with lap time. A little bit scruffy there, but gets away with it for now. Head down through Rivage. Crucial here to keep tight as much as possible. Now coming up to the corner with no name, or as Martin Bronzer knows as, is Liège. Now heading down to the classic P1 fast left-hander. Struth there goes a little bit wide there, and it looked like he has invalidated his lap time, which he has. So that is very unfortunately there for Struth. Meanwhile, Hamilton goes past on through, so we carry on with the track guide there on Hamilton's perspective. Now heading into Stavelot. And again, nice line there from so far from Hamilton. Meanwhile, Jay has retired, maybe made a mistake somewhere out of track. But sticking on board with the Red Bull driver there in the meantime, heading up towards famous Blanchimont. Fairly committed there, fully flat out, now heading up towards the bus shop chicane. Has been modified since 2008-2009. Again, a little bit back end, happy there, but gets away with it. And also no lap time there, post there for Hamilton, but meanwhile still carries on completing the lap, and a little bit of a track guide there for us. Now I just got to go out and find out which driver is out there on a lap at the moment. TTG Ollie meanwhile is currently out there on a lap. So is Sean trying to find a nearby driver. Now Poe looks like he's on the out lap at the moment, or at least on a flyer. Let's see if he pops his name over on the board first, maybe. There is a car ahead, and that's McLaren. They're going off wide, and Poe goes over the line there with a 141.9, and there was indeed Spaghetti Chips. They're going off right on the bus stop chicane with a 145.3. So obviously Poe there with the benchmark timing there with 141.9. Spaghetti Chips has to again find some more time if he wants to remain himself up in the top 10. Meanwhile though, squeezing out in the Ferrari, goes into P2 with a 142.8 then. Sean with a lap time of 144.8. Bear in mind it is on mediums, so not a bad lap time there for the Williams driver. TTG Ollie then up into P3 for the Force India driver with a 143.2. Not a bad lap time on the set of softs there. Got meanwhile is up there on a flyer. I'm trying to find nearby drivers who are at least nearby. It looks like Siege is on the flyer on mediums. Meanwhile there is a yellow flag in sector 2. But this will put Siege. Siege is up into P4 with a 144.4 on a set of mediums there. So he is the fastest medium runner so far out there. So good lap time there for the Mercedes driver. Season 2 world champion as well. So laying down his marker. Alan Katie starts his flyer then on the set of softs. Aiming for some good points and getting himself up there for Haas. Meanwhile they got there, pushing his car to its bare limits, even if it means using the track limits, but still keeps it within the lines, so, and not get a penalty for it whatsoever, kicking up a bit of gravel as he goes through. Car nice and stable through Blanchard, now coming down to a heavy braking zone to the bus stop chicane. Again, lovely line there from the gut. Let's see what lap time he can do, heading up towards the line. And it's a 144.6, although he did do a Sebastian Vettel move there, literally slowing on the line to not show his actual true pace of lap times there. So at the moment got in P5, although he has got pace in him to get himself right up there into the top 3, or at least into the top 5 to keep himself secured. Zenki then in P9 at the moment, no lap time. Out on his flyer route so far. Keep an eye on him as he goes round. Alan Kate. Cameron Stavaloden. Heading up towards the famous Blanchimon. Touching a bit across there. That ain't going to help his speed coming down on this last section here. You want all the speed you can as much as possible. Chucking the car around Blanchimon there. Still nicely gripped. Heading down towards the bus stop chicane. Oh, and he decides to abort the lap, so must be a bit of a track guide to see what tyres he goes on there for Alan then. Zenki meanwhile though, pushing his horse to its limits, using up all the curves as he can, especially around Stavalo. Again, keeping it very stable there so far. Looking very promising. Heading up towards Blanchimon then. Should be fully committed for flat out, which he does. A great angle there as well. Heading down towards the bus stop chicane. What this lap time will put Zenki up, we'll find out as he comes around the last corner now. Heading up towards the line, keep it very short and keep it very left. And he will take P1 then with a 141.8. So Zenki then putting himself up into provisional pole as it stands at the moment. Now see what Poe can do in response to that. Ollie P, meanwhile, out there on the set of softs. Meanwhile, the yellow flags, that's due to cars just keeping out his way while he's on his flying lap. Very well respected there from the drivers. So Red Bulls are not very far from each other. Obviously, on a different choice of strategy. Hamilton on the set of super softs and Ollie on a set of softs, and meanwhile Zenki there is not going to bother progressing his time even more, thinking that 141.8 is a solid performance there. So all up for grabs for anyone who is looking to increase the lap time then to challenge Zenki then. Hamilton there literally pushing his Red Bull as much as he can. He ran up towards Blanchimon, looking at a very good lap here from Hamilton. Championship leader as it stands. He'll be aiming to get more points away, to break away, to claim or proceed nearby his championship so far. Heading up towards the line now. And Hamilton then takes P1 away from Zenki then with a 141.6. So Zenki then obviously retiring then obviously helps Hamilton up to go up on to P1. Ollie P meanwhile goes P6 with a 144.3. Quickest soft tyre runner there so far, and not a bad lap time either. So Ollie P on a definite charge then. Struth is also out there as well on the flyer as well. We will track him later on, and also the same as Plaster as well, not very far away. Plaster may benefit from a bit of tow. Also distant tow from Struth, although he doesn't want to be too close so it can damage your set of tyres. And okay though, going for a lap time on a set of super stuffs I believe, so fearing that he might get himself up there, although super stuffs may help him for the start for the start of the race, but it can easily drop off, and obviously with lock-ups like that it ain't going to help your tyres if it's going to be used as a race set, so keep an eye on Alan Kay. Poe is also up there starting up his hot lap in pursuit for P1. See if he can challenge Hamilton. So TTG Ollie also out there for Force India, going for the softest compound he can go. All about the grip as much as he can, and also the pace he can get out of. There is two Red Bulls there, line and stern, not far apart from each other. One of them keeps off on the exit, on the runoff area, and obviously another Red Bull in front, but may benefit so until the breaking point. And then there we go. So TTG Ollie pushing on through. And it has to be a 142.0 then for TTG Ollie. Still plenty of time to get yourself back in the pits. Meanwhile, there is a yellow flag in sector 1, and that is Struth. They go very slowly up Radion. Now, has he run out of fuel? Sounds like he's run out of fuel, although he is going dangerously slow. And that is a long trip back to the back of the pits then. That ain't gonna help him whatsoever. That is gonna cost him time. Maybe run a little bit out of too light on fuel. Meanwhile, Siege is retired with a 144.4. And okay though, promotes himself up into P7 143.7 there. So good lap time there for the Haas driver. Plaster and Spike are yet to set a lap time, although Spike is currently out there, and he's out there on a set of softs. There is a yellow flag in sector 3, but happily gets away. But we're going to stick on both them for the meantime with the McLaren driver. Season 1 world champion, currently in the championship hunt for season 3. Although he has been missing a lot of races due to commitment outside of league racing, as in like work and everything. But he's out to have fun and aiming to get some good points for himself. But going around Belgium now, it looks like he's easing off there. So what's up with Spike? Why has he slowed down? Why has Spike slowed down? Is he just prepping for a gap maybe ahead, or prepping himself for a good decent exit to get himself on the main straight? We'll find out in a minute. But it looks like Spike is going for it. Maybe it's just a case of warm up, quick pre-slowdown. And Spike sets himself a 155.4. Now I think that is a little bit of a cheeky little slow down there for Spike. Maybe just to save himself from not going into top 10 maybe. No, I'm pretty sure he'll may tell us later on about that little strategy. Meanwhile then, as we go through the running order, as we've got a little bit of a low quiet period before pole position shootout happens then. So then we have got Hamilton out in P1 there with 141.6, Zenki in P2 141.8, Parry in third with 141.9, TTG Ollie in fourth with 142.0, Squeezy in fifth with 142.8, we've got Struth in sixth with 143.2, Andy K in seventh with a 143.7, Short is in eighth with a 143.8, Ollie P in ninth with a 144.3, we've got Siege in 10th with 144.4, the GOT in 11th with 144.6. We've got Spaghetti Chips in 12th with 145.3. And we've got Spike in 13th with 155.4. Plaster is in P14, not set lap time. And Jay is fortunately retired from session. Maybe made a mistake out there, we do not know. But I'm sure he'll probably tell us about it later on. Meanwhile, some of the drivers already starting retiring already, thinking that is the best lap time they can do. Obviously, Sean is also joining them as well. So then we've got a little bit of a battle up for the P1 then. Hamilton at the moment is out on track, knowing that he has to defend pole position at all costs. We've got this man Poe, a potential challenger, aiming to take Hamilton off his perch from pole positions. And he's going out there for the run and only run, providing he doesn't make a mistake out there. Spike is meanwhile is up in P5 with 142.7 on a set of soft tyres, and that is a good lap time as well there for Spike. A very good competitive lap time, so definitely need to keep an eye on him for the race. He'll be going long shot here and potentially go for the one stop. And meanwhile, Poe, who I said has potential taking the pole away from Hamilton, is decided to retire in P3. Now, TTG Ollie there has a chance then to go snap pole away from Hamilton. And also Squeezy as well. We've got to keep an eye on Squeezy. And Squeezy already starting his flyer, going up through Radion onto camera straight. Keep an eye on him as well, although Ollie P is a little bit further back than Squeezy, so keep an eye on what's going on. Obviously, Ollie P is up there as well. Down in P10, he has got a good chance there to get himself well up within the midfield areas. And also, Spaghetti Chips is out there as well. See what lap time he can do, see what time or pace he's hiding. Well, we're qualifying now ended then. The drivers up there are on their lap time. So anyone who crosses the line, they got a chance to complete the lap. Spaghetti Chips then be the first one out of the three runners there to complete lap time. There is a slow car up ahead, or has it eventually got out of the way? Looks like it has. So Spaghetti Chips then come around the last corner, then around the bus stop chicane. What lap time will it be for the McLaren driver? And he puts himself up into P5 on 142.5. So good lap time there from Spaghetti Chips. TTG Ollie then retired, thinking that he made a mistake on his lap time. See what Squeezy can do. Squeezy can then inspire Hamilton's party. What is his pace like? Eddie puts himself up into P5, so Hamilton currently sits on pole. And I don't think other drivers are able to qualify, but Hamilton though still going out on a lap regardless. Yeah, but he will take P1, but the question is, will he go quicker though than his lap time he's got at the moment? He won't know if any other drivers around are on a lap time, so we'll keep an eye on Hamilton. Meanwhile, we'll go cut that on the first part of the bus stop chicane. See what he'll do, but he comes on the line. And it will be a 141.6 of his original set on his first run. So you take the P1s, but then Hamilton there is your pole sitter there for Belgium. Right then, so well, there's a little glitch in the system there. I don't know why it's let me up the race straight to there, but there we go. We're running on the grid quickly then. We've got Hampton P1, Zenki P2, Poe P3, TTG Ollie P4, Squeezy P5, Spaghetti P6, Spike in 7th, Ollie P8, Street from 9th, Alan K 10th, Sean in 11th, CG 12th, Got in 13th, Plaster 14th, and Jay is in P15. So that is your running order for the race for Spa.
We'll quickly get racing to tell you what to watch. Yeah.
Again, whilst the race is going on, question asked before the start of the stream, or start of the race. The 1998 Grand Prix was the action-packed and also the wettest Grand Prix going so far. Want to know who was the winner of that race in 1998, and if you get the constructors right, you'll all be mentioned at the end of the stream after the interviews. I also do apologise for a little bit of a noise in the background. That is my niece expressing her concern and voice. So I do apologise for a little bit of noise disturbance.
Right, let's start racing in a minute. You can watch. Hang on. Get racing.
So just waiting now for the drivers then to get the race strategy sorted out and planning themselves for ahead of the race. At the moment, the weather forecast is dry. Well, dry for now. Do not know if there's rain on the way. Right then, we are away on the formation lap then. Now, for those in the top 10, will qualified on the tyres. They set their fastest lap time in qualifying then. Most of them are out there on super softs. The only people out there in the top 10 with softs are Spike and Sean. Now for the everyone outside the top 10 then, most of them selected this set of softs, whilst the only driver that selected the mediums there was Siege. So we're keeping an eye on Siege as well coming through the field. He'd be the only runner out of the outside the top 10 that is starting on a set of mediums. Maybe Siege knows something that I do not know. Maybe try a long stint and go on a set of softs or even a super softs if you stretch those mediums out very nicely then. So we keep an eye on the Season 2 World Champion then. Hamilton got himself a good lap time round in quality. Now can he also convert that into a race win? Time will tell. He has got Zeki up behind him, and also the likes of Poe and also TTG Ollie and Squeezy as well. Very good, decent, quick drivers up there, as all the drivers in the field are all very quick and very pacey. Spike, who obviously decided to select for the soft tyres, aiming to get the jump on the cars ahead, especially on the harder of the 3 compounds. So Spike's aiming for the long strategy game of the one stop. See if that all pays off for him. Also the likes of Sean as well. He's going for the soft tyres to start off with. He'll be aiming to again go for the same strategy as Spike. Go for the one stop and aim, see what he can go for. Obviously Jay starting at the very back. Not had a good qualifying, obviously retired. Hopefully he can make amends for qualifying and make it a good result into the race. Just bear with 2 seconds everybody. Right back there, sorry about that ladies and gentlemen. I'll say it's all action packed to my house at the moment. Anyway, now with all the race drivers there now coming onto the grid, it's not long before lights out for the Belgian Grand Prix. There we go, that's a good decent camera angle I got there. Let's imitate on that. So then, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will be lights out and away we go in Belgium. Once the start's light, everyone there getting off to a good decent start then. Heading down towards turn 1 then. Hamilton then gets away very nicely. Oh, let's Senki and Poe then going to make contact there. Spokey and very, very snappy there on the exit there, but gets away with it for now. And everyone now is literally jostling for a position. Coming up through our region, Radion. So far, so good. Very clean and tight. No accidents there. No one dropping it on the edge of Radion. Heading down towards the old Kevin Straight. And again, a lot of side-by-side action there so far. Everyone's there jostling for position there. Spaghetti Chips there making a good chance. And he's going to have an attack on Poe here. Totally take P3, but it has to concede for P4 for now. And obviously, Hamilton and Zenki, they go side-by-side around Rivage. Zenki then making a position stick. Yes, he does. He gets a good stop there on Hamilton then. So Zenki then making a good charge. TTG Oli then gets himself back up into P4 there. Spaghetti Chips is there, starting to lose positions. And he's under threat by CG. By Squeezy, sorry. Around P1, and obviously Spaghetti Chips goes very wide here. Now Squeezy there is looking for a chance to go down the inside. Ooh, very, very close there for losing the front wing, but hangs back just for now. TG Oli there goes off a bit wide there. Spaghetti then getting himself back in position for attack, but still under threat by the Ferrari of Squeezy. And obviously there's a yellow flag in sector 3, and that is Jay. What's happened to Jay? Oh, Jay looks at the end of Stavilo there. So, and that is looks like front wing damage, and to top it off, and he's trying to take himself out the race. Meanwhile, then, while that is all going on, TG Oli then gets up into P4, Spaghetti P5, and still under pressure there by Squeezy there for P6, and so at the moment, battle here for P4. He's only come on to lap 2. Obviously Jay there, unfortunately, not having the best racing, he's decided to retire his car in dramatic style. And there's Squeezy there, going a little bit corner cutting there on the top of Radion. But we've probably got like a warning there from the game stewards there about track extending and corner cutting, so he's got to be very careful. Easy do around Radion. Oh, there was a bit of dust, a cloud there coming up in the background there. Meanwhile, it looks like CG and Sean are having a little duel there for P9. At the moment, CG there is just hanging on for now, although he has got off to a good start there on the set of mediums. Although under threat from the cars behind on a softer compound to him as it is, although CG's just got to play the game. And meanwhile, then we have got a battle in the background, that looks like Struth and the Got. Struth and the Got there have a little bit of a battle there, but Struth there just hanging on there for now. They go side by side, ending through Stavilo. Struth hanging, got out there for drive. So far as Danson, Struth goes off wide. Oh! Struth lost it on the exit there, and obviously the Got there got collected up in it, but I don't think the Got's got any damage, but that is Struth. Losing it on the exit there, got caught by the wall. Coming into back of the Got there, looks like I don't know if Got's got any damage, but he's very lucky if he hasn't, and he still carries on there, so the Got there gets away with it unscathed there, so he was very lucky to get away with it for that. So far then to Hamilton then only half a second away from Zenki now with DRS now enabled, using it down the Kevin Straight here. Can he make an attack into Licums? Not at the moment, but he's got himself very close here. Meanwhile, though, Spaghetti and Ollie P going side by side here. And Spaghetti there's lost not one place but two, and he's now under pressure there from his teammate. No, he doesn't want to compromise too much there for Spike if he can help it. But Spaghetti then went for the attack on Ollie and didn't pay it off, and Squeezy there takes the penalty of it, getting free on Spaghetti. Now Spaghetti now is under pressure there from his teammate Spike behind him. Although both on different strategies. But as it looks as it stands, the McLaren boys are still free to race. So, still a bit of a train there for battle for P4. Obviously the top three then got themselves spaced out within at least 2 seconds. Meanwhile there is the yellow flag in sector 2. And that's Plaster there. Plaster there's lost it on the P1 then. So Plaster's lost it on P1, but still maintains his car intact and still putting himself forward. So Plaster have a little bit more ground to catch up on time wise. Meanwhile though, Ollie, TTG Ollie under pressure. Everyone's squeezy coming down towards the stop chicane. Ollie keeping the inside for it so far. And then peels into the pits instead. So obviously Ollie's decided to go for pit stop straight away to get off them set of super softs. Meanwhile though, Squeezy then puts us up into P4, Spaghetti back into P5 and Spike up now into P6. Obviously TTG Ollie is going to be filtering back out into traffic, mainly down near the back as well, so he is going on set mediums and be a bit touch and go for the case of getting to the end. Time will tell, time we'll see what happens if he can get the undercut. Meanwhile though, two McLaren boys line astern of each other. Hopefully not expecting any team orders, they're both still pushing, both on different strategies. Spike's just happy just to hang back a little by this time. Meanwhile though, Hamilton is still on the charge to reclaim back P1 of Zenki. And Zenki there goes a bit wider, so does Hamilton around P1. So looks like it's the start of the sign of the super soft tyres just starting to scream a little bit. You ain't getting much out of life out of them as much as possible. Meanwhile, battle for P4, P5, P6 is still ongoing at the moment. Although Spaghetti looks like it's starting to get back a little bit more pacing, getting a bit more gap on his teammate, but not by much. Spike's just hanging back, watching this all unfold. Although at the moment, both Squeezy and Spaghetti are not going into the pits as they speak for now. Still carrying out there for another lap at least. Meanwhile though, switching attentions towards the front again as the Zenki and Hamilton are a bit all closer onto the track this time. Obviously Hamilton will have the arrows going up El Rouge and Radion. Hamilton very, very aggressive on attacking, and he's going side by side before DRS. Now can he make the move just straight, stick to the end of the straight, and Hamilton then gets the job done in DRS. Now goes to fences there to cut off Zenki. So he made 2 moves there, so he doesn't make no more moves after that. And Hamilton there gets back into P1 then. Oh, and Zenki then. Oh, Zenki's lost it. Zenki's lost it. Oh, does he get away with Poe? Poe gets away with it for free, and Zenki keeps it away from the walls. Lucky save there from Zenki. Although he has lost a lot of time there. And also, ooh, nearly got collected there with another cars as well coming through. So Zenki there with a good start. Lost it. Dropped it on the exit of Les Combs. And now that looks like the sign of his tyres have gone off the cliff. And that's the only problem there. If he's down on the set of supers, it is going to bound to drop off very quickly. So Hamilton over the gap of 2 seconds ahead of Poe then. So the battle for P4 between the two McLaren boys. Again, both on different strategies. Although Spike is getting very close to his teammate here. Looking to eye up and move potentially after Blanchimont. He's getting ever so close here. Spike, is he going to go for the move down the inside? No, he's just going to let his teammate take the spot. Meanwhile though, Squeezy is into the pits, but also Poe is as well. The McLaren boys are now promoting themselves up to 2 places at least. Although Spaghetti is now under pressure from his teammate, who is a world champion of season 1. So he's got to be very careful and see what his defensive moves are like. Although Spike is getting ever so close and he's pulled off to the right. So there's Spike, they're going for the move. It makes the move stick there on Spaghetti then on the straight of Lecombe. So Spike is up now into P2. Now his next target up the road is Hamilton, as I say, his rival. And meanwhile though, Zenki and the Gort going side by side through leg comes. Very, very respectful there, giving each other a lot of room there. And the Gort then is up into P6, Zenki down into P7, although Zenki still coming back at him at Rivage and obviously not making a move so far. Now going around the corner of No Name. But the Gort there still hangs on for now. Meanwhile, there is another battle brewing up just ahead, involving Ollie P and Sean. Sean looking very feisty here on the softer compound, well, soft tyres. But at the moment, not finding a move past Ollie yet. It looks like Ollie's tyres are starting to drop off a cliff. So Sean is looking for a sniff of opportunity. Oh, Sean there goes a little bit wide there. And also the lights of Zenki as well in the background. We have got two battles in one shot here. So Sean then is looking for a move on Ollie, potentially after Blanchimon. He's eyeing it up. He's going down the outside for the bust up chicane. If he hangs around the outside, he gets the inside for the next one. Ollie there just hangs on for now. And Ollie P goes off into pit. So Sean is up into P4. The Gort is gone right up behind the back of Sean. And obviously we've got Hamilton into the pits. Very few amount of cars here, so the pit lane is very busy at the moment. You've got Sean Spaghetti in the pits. You've got Zenki in there as well. But Spike meanwhile takes effective race lead then in P1. And also you got the Gort and Sean as well battling for P2 at the moment. Got right at the back of Sean, going down the inside there. Sean's squeezing him out a little bit, but being very respectful on the squeeze. And the Gort there goes up into P2 into Lake Orms. Although Sean is looking to tack him back through afterwards. Now can he launch a move down? He's going for the move down the outside of Rivage this time. Can he make it stick? If he does, he's got the inside line for the corner No Name. Although the Gort there hangs out there just for now, hanging him out to dry. Great respectful race driving there from between them two. So the Gort there hangs into P2, Sean into P3. Meanwhile though, Poe and Hamilton, obviously both have not made pit stop long ago. Meanwhile though, TTG Ollie, what's happened to TTG Ollie here? And he's got no front wing, so what happened to Ollie then? Did he obviously made contact with another car or lost it on the wall out of Rivage? Whatever it is, whatever happened is, he's now got to go back into the pit, get new front wings. So that is heavily taking blows there to his race, and I'm sure he won't be too pleased with that. Meanwhile though, Poe and Hamilton they're very close to each other. Again, this time even more closer. Poe going down the outside. Can he hang around the inside a little bit? Will banging in a little bit touching contact there, but both get away with it for now. Hamilton then still maintains P5. Poe's got DRS. Can he make a move down La Source? Not at the moment. He's just got hanging on there, although Hamilton takes a bit of a different line this time around, but still maintains the gap difference. Although Poe will now have DRS on the top of Radion. And here we go into DRS now. Now Hamilton is under pressure then from Poe, but obviously Hamilton just maintains it on there for now with straight line speed, helping him out to a treat. Obviously they're not far away on the road to catching up Siege. Hamilton there kicking up a bit of dust to Poe, giving him a bit of dirt treatment, but Poe's not fazed by that. He's still not letting anything affect him so far. Gets very close to the wall there as well there, Poe, so very lucky not to get any wing damage whatsoever. And there we go, there goes Siege then in P4. Not doing a good job so far from the Mercedes, starting from near about the back with a set of mediums. And he's not far away from the rest of the field up ahead of him. Although Hamilton and Poe are on a fresher set of mediums to Siege. Although Siege is on a completely different strategy. So Siege is open just to get himself going as much as possible, working his stint to a treat. Although Hamilton now on the back of Siege. Siege there goes off to the far left. And obviously just letting the cars go through, so I'm presuming Siege doesn't want to get involved in the battle between them two, being out of sync. Very respectful there from Siege. Still though, Hamilton and Poe still banning out there for potentially net P1. Meanwhile though, Zenki there setting up the fastest lap time there, so Zenki holds the title. That's for the race today. For Poe looking for a move on Hamilton, but better thought of it, not round into the comms. So Poe's just letting Hamilton know that he's there, filling up his mirrors with the multicolours of the banana car of the Renault. Or I should say the Rust effects really, because it has got black liveries with it as well, so it'd be the Renault Rust compared to the actual banana. But still the closest battle out there so far on track as it stands. Meanwhile, everyone around the rest of the track are not too far of pace of the gaps. Still mostly fairly spread out, but fairly close together. So still everything's happening like being close together. So looking at it so far, Spike is into the pits then. Now obviously the GOT will be coming round to take the lead for now, although Hamilton and Poe are just coming around not far behind either. So Poe now takes over as the race leader. And where is Spike going to get out? Is he going to get out in front of Squeezy? Oh, not for now. So Spike's just slotting behind Squeezy. But crucially though, he's out ahead of his teammate. So Spike is... Oh! Spike did he also look like he was going to lose his car around the top of Radion there, but still maintains control and gets the arrest there on Squeezy. Meanwhile, oh, Zenki, what's happened to Zenki? No, Zenki has... If Zenki's lost it, up a Rouge of Radion. And it looks like Radion we will go on board with Plaster, especially through camera, and he's lost it. Yeah, Zenki has lost it up on Radion, especially right on the apex as well. So luckily his car is ghosted. It would have been a heart and mouth moment if any other driver was right nearby Zenki at that moment, trying to avoid the accident. So Zenki making the list of the third retirement so far, but no safety car or virtual. Not at the moment anyway. Meanwhile though, the battle of the McLarens as they're reunited, and they have obviously made the pit stops respectfully. Although Spike getting a jump on his teammate and maintains out in front, so he's got now chased down to Squeezy. But Spaghetti though, not letting his teammate get way out of his clutches for now. Although you don't want to make him too many oversteers, because that will just lose a little bit of time to your teammate ahead. Spike with a little bit of a lock up there, but for now just maintain station for now. They're probably just focusing trying to get through Squeezy. Oh, and looks like Spaghetti there was looked like he was going to lose it, but maintains control of his car, and crucially got DRS, although Spike has got DRS on Squeezy, and they're also catching up to Siege. So this will be a nice little battle there coming up for P4 there in the space of literally a couple of corners. So Siege, Squeezy, Spike and Spaghetti then is the battle for P4 then. And obviously Zenki there's Fonchi there left the session. Very unfortunate there to lose it on top of Radion. Easily done when the car comes a bit light, especially going up a hill. So then Siege now starting to come under pressure from 3 cars coming up behind him. And obviously first picked into careful off will be Squeezy. Squeezy there will be eyeing up for a move. Not just yet, potentially after turn 1 maybe. But he is getting ever closer to the back of that Mercedes. Coming around Belgium 1 now, still carrying a great amount of speed. Squeezy going to go for the move, he's going for the move, going down the outside of the bus stop chicane. Oh, is it going to be close? Oh, there's a bit of contact there. And obviously, Squeezy then is up into P4 then. Looks like Siege was going into the pits anyway, so Squeezy then up into P4. He's also now got Spike behind him and Spaghetti in P6. Also though, we've got to keep an eye on the battle at the front because it looks like the GOAT is now under pressure then from Hamilton. Hamilton then coming over. Is he going to take net P1 then off the GOAT? Yes, he does. Does he make it stick? He makes it stick, so Hamilton up into net P1. Got their cutting chicane and he paid the price there. He's picked up a penalty for it. And then now Poe coming up into P3. Meanwhile though, Spike has got the overtake done on Squeezy. So Spike now up into P4 and Squeezy now is in P5. Although won't be long for Squeezy then to try and make a move back on Spike. Although a little bit favouring Spike's hand on age of tyre wise, tyre age. Meanwhile though, looks like Poe has got the move done on the GOAT. Yes, he does. So Poe then up into P2 then. GOAT now down into P3. So looks like the tyres are starting to go a little bit on the GOAT. And looking at it, looks like the track is starting to go a little bit cloudy in places. So may benefit those on a little bit of the softer compounds just to eke out the tyres just a little bit more. But for now we're still maintaining dry. Don't see any rain clouds whatsoever, so no threat of rain whatsoever, so I've been told. Or as far as I know I can see. Spike though setting up a fastest lap time of 145.7. So Spike is definitely on a charge, and this next target is potentially a podium target of P3 then, which will be the GOAT. Although the GOAT is on 12 lap old soft, so it won't take long for Spike to get up there, especially with the fresher tyres of the mediums. Meanwhile though, Squeezy's got DRS a little bit too far back for now to catch on to Spike. So he's just got to keep pressuring Spike as much as he can. And he's gotten down to the gap within a half a second. Meanwhile though, Plaster is gone into the pits into P12. Going on a set of super softs there for Plaster, so maybe potential 2 stops there on a set of super softs. Maybe trying to go for the fastest lap award and not going in over the line as well there for good measure. So Plaster now into P12, let him potentially try and nab the fastest lap. We can keep an eye on him. Meanwhile though, back for P4 then, Spike and Squeezy. Squeezy will be now looking to get again close to the McLaren as much as possible. Spike still maintaining gap. Headed down towards the bus shop chicane. And there we go, now Squeezy now got DRS heading down towards the source. Gets in a little bit closer. Spike there with a little bit of a lock up. Squeezy will sort that and he'll be taking full advantage. Both with a good traction pull out on the exit of La Source as well. Although Squeezy will now have DRS for the Camel Straight. Now, looks like Squeezy's getting much closer than the lap before. Now, can he make the move down into the comms? Let's go for it. Spike go defensive. Squeezy now go down the outside, very close and connecting to each other in the rear. Going side by side through the comms. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there from Squeezy and Spike. Although Squeezy then gets through into P4 and Spike down into P5. So a little bit wheels argy-bargy there, but Squeezy then gets through from now up into P4. Now Spike will be aiming to get back through or attempt to go for another overtake on Squeezy. Still within half a second away from him. Although he's now got to be careful because that battle's just cost him a bit of time to his teammate. His teammate is now coming up behind him as well, although just maintaining station. Meanwhile though, we have got an overtake going on, and that is Ollie P and Alan K there exchanging places. Ollie up into the points, Alan K is just outside the points for now. So, a few laps left remaining. Meanwhile though, Spike and Squeezy there going side by side around blocks. But oh, there's contact there, and that's Squeezy there hitting the back of Spike. So, the got is in the pit lane, so Spike will be up into P3, Squeezy into P4. Although Squeezy now will have ring damage with the collision over Spike, so Spaghetti now has a chance to see if he can go attack Squeezy, knowing that he may have wing damage. So Spike will be going up first through Radion. Obviously now be under threat by Squeezy due to DRS. And there we go, we've got Squeezy there going for the move down the outside. And you get the move done through Lacombs, which he does. There we go, Squeezy up and now into P3 on the potential one step of the podium. Although he is carrying the weight of damage on him though with the damaged front wing. Don't know how severely it is, but at the moment it's not costing him too much. So it might be just a case of a light green damage on his end plate. Though Spike and Spaghetti though will be still chasing him down. I'm trying to find now where the weakness is in Squeezy. Spike there right on the back of that Ferrari. Looks like the Ferrari is now starting to struggle with a bit of wing damage in certain corners. Meanwhile though, the battle at the front with the leaders has closed down ever so lot. Hamilton and Poe banner out for P1. Both going side by side. Hamilton taking the defensive line. Poe trying to do the switch back on him. At the moment just hangs on for now. Meanwhile though, the battle though for P3. Spike and Squeezy then side by side, although Spike going for the switchback and go for the switchback Mark 2, hanging around the outside for the second part of the bus stop chicane. Can he make it stick? Oh, there's contact there, but Spike then gets up into P3, Squeezy down into P4, Spaghetti into P5 at the moment, still hanging back watching this all unfold. Meanwhile though, switching up to the front because Hamilton and Poe are going for a battle in for P1 for the race lead. Poe now with DRS, now can he get close to Hamilton? Down towards Lacombs. No, he doesn't. Oh, and Squeezy. Where happened to Squeezy? Squeezy's lost it. Squeezy has lost it. Potentially, maybe Radion. Looks like Radion going aboard. Yes, he has. He's lost it in the same spot as Senki then. So, Squeezy then has lost it round Radion, and he won't be happy with that. And that is end to Squeezy's race then. Meanwhile, Poe is still behind Hamilton. Siege has moved himself up into P6 with Sean down into P7 then. Although he has got LEP in 8th as well, not very far behind this as well. So there is now multiple battles here starting to gear up at the closing end of the race. It's hard to track with which battle to keep an eye on. Obviously now with Squeezy will be marked down as a 4th retirement. So obviously everyone will be notching up a place. Meanwhile though, battle side by side, P1 go around side by side around Blanchimont, Hamilton, Poe. Hamilton goes off a bit wide off the run-off area, but they both make it through unscathed with no contact. That's a great driving there from the two. Hamilton goes deep into the first part, compromises for a second. Poe getting right up on the back of that rear ring of the Red Bull. Again, Hamilton starting to feel the pressure now with Poe coming right behind him. Closing laps of the race as well. Especially for getting P1. Poe's keeping Hamilton very honest here. Going up Elrood and Radion. Down towards the camera straight then. Hamilton still having an advantage down the camera straight. Maybe using his Earth's power to its perfection. Knowing where to use it. But at the moment, Poe will just have to find somewhere else to find to overtake Hamilton. Meanwhile, Spike up in P3, Spaghetti in P4. the McLarens are having a strong race, but they're both still line astern. Maybe just probably now focusing on getting each other to the end of the race without crossing over each other, maybe, or they're going to go and duel it out, see which driver will come up on the last spot of the podium for team pride. Time will tell. We'll keep an eye on them too, see if any gaps will get closer. Meanwhile, we will turn attentions back to the P1 with Hamilton and Poe still very close between each other, not giving each other any quarter whatsoever. Poe looking for the move down the bus stop chicane, this time a little bit far back, although he is picking himself a great line here in trying to utilise the exit, trying to get a good shot here on Hamilton. Hamilton though still got it covered, although the exit around the source there looks very promising. Poe is very close this time around. Now the question is, can he utilise that on the Kemmel Straight? He is very close to this time around, and in the slipstream Hamilton now keeps to the right, Poe going for the grass. Now he's got to go on the outside and try and go the long way round. Can Poe make it stick round the outside round Lecombs? And yes, he does. Poe gets round the outside of Hamilton to take P1. Great move there from the Renault driver, and great respect there for Hamilton for giving the space there to Poe. Great battle in between them two. Great class of driving. Although Hamilton's still not giving up though. He still wants to go out and win the Belgium Grand Prix. The only thing that's stopping him at the moment is the Renault ahead. Obviously, they've both not got advantage of much over each other in terms of tyre life between each other. There's only a lap difference, so a very, very small margin in Hamilton's favour. But coming towards the dire end of the race, that pretty much gets thrown out the window. It's all hammer and tongs. Meanwhile, though, still got a fair battle going on at the moment for P7. Sean and Ollie not far away from each other on the road. And we also got the McLaren boys in P3 and P4 as well, not very far away. So we've got about at least 3 battles just to keep an eye on at the moment, especially with 3 laps to go. Although it looks like Ollie P is starting to lose a little bit of ground there to Sean, as Sean's trying to pull away as much as he can. Meanwhile though, the McLaren boys, which one of them are going to be going onto the podium? Is it going to be Spike or is it going to be Spaghetti? But between the two, we'll find out in a minute. Meanwhile though, Hamilton go for the move down for the lead. Hamilton and Poe hang on for now for P1. Hamilton then nearly had Poe down the main straight there, with his straight line speed being his advantage. But Poe just hangs on for now. He has got at least 4 more laps, 3 more laps just to cover off Hamilton. So that is a warning sign there for Poe. With Hamilton's pace down the main straight, that looks like it's Poe's little weakness spot. But he's utilising it ever around the corner, so it looks like Poe's just got himself kind of set up for specific corners, especially around Spa. And obviously the straights are just hampering him a little bit. But for now, at the moment though, Hamilton eager to literally get himself going, to get himself ahead of that Renault. And he is gaining very quickly as well. Poe now thinking of going defensive, he's keeping in the middle. Hamilton was going for the inside, now going for the outside. But just hangs back just for now. He has got DRS to help him to get him out close towards their source. On to lap 20 now. Only literally a couple of laps left. Poe now will be feeling the pressure a lot and knowing that the weakness is coming up to him now. Hamilton looking very, very feisty here. Getting right on the back of that Renault diffuser. Going down the outside. Hamilton then gets to move up into P1. Poe now has to slot back and try and see if he can launch a move. Hamilton goes defensive just to cover off the move from Poe. But Hamilton now is back into P1. Poe still not giving up either. He is still going for the attack. And he's going for the move. He's going down the inside. Yes, he's going for it. Although Hamilton's left in room. Can Poe hang around the inside now? It becomes the outside for him. And they're still going side by side around the corner. No name. That is the first time I've ever seen an overtaking move around that corner. Especially on Codemasters. Great respect for them too. Going side by side round the corner. No name. They're going through the P1 then. And meanwhile it's going off. We've got Sean and Ollie P. They're exchanging positions there. Whilst that was going on, we were watching Hamilton and Poe. So Poe then up into P1 at the moment. Hamilton's got all to do again. Laps are losing out very quickly, so each lap is going to get a little bit tougher. And not a lot of time left in it to make many moves. Heading up towards the bus shop chicane. Hamilton's just hanging back for now. Poe again taking his line. Heading up towards lap 21. At the moment, Poe's just trying to break away, get good traction away from Hamilton. Now heading up towards El Rouge and Radion. And then into Kemmel Straight. Poe again has got to do the hard work on defending. This time Hamilton with the arrest, go down the outside. Poe then loses out to Hamilton this time, so Hamilton up into P1 again. Although not exactly stable around Les Combes, so might be a little bit of a bonus time for Poe, trying to see if he can get himself up alongside Hamilton before Les Combes, but Hamilton there making his Red Bull wide as possible, trying to break away from that Renault. But at the moment, maintaining position. Meanwhile, Ollie and Sean again dueling around on the camera straight. And this time, Ollie gets himself up into P7, Sean down into P8. Although not a lot left in them two as well, so they still put on a show, even if it is for midfield points. Midfield points still make prizes. So then, Hamilton and Poe. These two have been scrubbing for quite some time. And both been very clean on their moves. Hamilton still maintaining gap and defence on Poe. Heading up to the final lap as well. Poe there goes a little bit back and happy. Hamilton gets the fastest lap anyway to start breaking away as much as he can. Meanwhile, Sean and Ollie changing positions again. This time Sean up into P7, Ollie down to P8. But we are heavily focusing on this battle as it's the final lap of the race. Now who's going to win this? Will it be Hamilton or will it be Poe? It's now or never. And oh, Hamilton's left the session. Hamilton's left the session at the worst point. And that's just handing over victory there to Poe. So Poe then is potentially, looks like, gifted up a victory here. And looks like he's just maintaining a position there to give Hamilton back the position due to connection problems. Great with sportsmanship there from Poe to literally maintain position as it stands for now. Although he gets himself back up into P1. Meanwhile, the McLaren boys are scrubbing here for points. Spike and Spaghetti here. They might get a chance to catch up to Hamilton in time. But they're both now scrubbing out for the podium positions. Spike now under pressure from his teammates. Meanwhile, we have got Ollie P and Sean chilling out, going around side by side. There comes Sean going around the outside on the second part. It gets the place on Ollie. Ollie going for a switch back. But at the moment, Sean meanwhile is hanging on to P7 at least. Meanwhile though, the McLaren boys are not giving up whatsoever. Spike now under pressure from his teammate. Coming around at the end of Stavelo. Now at last chance, Stavelo, Blanchimont, potential bus stop chicane. Spaghetti is right on the back of Spike here. Spike there is under huge pressure from his teammate. Although Spike slams the door, Hamilton rejoins back in the session. Meanwhile though, Poe then takes P1 off the Belgian Grand Prix. Hamilton gets back into the lobby. But I don't think he get his car in time and finish in P2. McLaren boys, who's got P3? And it's Spike there. Got P3 ahead of his teammates Spaghetti P4 by 3/10. Got then takes P5. And then we got Siege then taking P6. Now Ollie P and Sean in P7. Ollie P P8. So Sean into P7. Ollie P will take P7 over Sean down due to penalties. And then we got TTG Ollie. Not had the best races to get his wing damage, but still a recovery drive at least to get himself into the points. So Ollie TTG Ollie up into P9, and then we got Alan K then not far away till coming around Stavalo, heading up towards Blanchimont. Although Plaster not too far away either. But Alan K will take the one and only point. Heading up towards the bus shop chicane now. Again, a little bit of a lock up there from Alan. But gets around the last corner. And takes P10 then. Plaster then will take P11. But your race winner though will be Poe. So then your top three then will be Spike in P3, Hamilton in P2, but your race winner then is Poe in P1. Great racing from all round from everyone, and great respect from everybody as well. Although Hamilton will be very disappointed to be disconnected right on the last lap there, so we'll get words from the drivers in a minute then for the interviews. So then the unofficial or the official results then, we've got Poe then in P1 with Hamilton in P2, Spike in P3, Spaghetti in P4, the Got in P5, Siege in 6, Ollie P7, Sean in P8, TG Ollie in P9, Alan K in P10, and then we've got Plaster then in P11. We've got Squeezy, Zenkeys, Struth and Jay are your retirements. So then, driver of the day then, the driver of the day, who I can give to as my driver of the day. I am going to go and give it to the GOAT then. So the GOAT will be my driver of the day. Starting off in near the back, but got himself up into P5. So the GOAT then will take my driver of the day on that one. So then, I hope you guys got questions, anything for any drivers that going into the lobby. I'm just going to check and see on your comments to see how you guys are doing before I get the drivers in for the interviews. Just let myself get a breather at least. So then, we are going to be literally getting the drivers in now as I was looking through all the comments. See where I can get in for interviews. So just bear with me for 2 seconds, everybody. Let's see where I can get in. Let's see if any more I can get in as well. Just bear with me, everybody. Alright, just waiting up for the drivers in to come through. Still waiting to see if any other drivers who would like to join. If I don't get any drivers soon. But looks like we'll be ending the stream soon. But I'll give it a few minutes at least. But whilst we're waiting for drivers, the question I asked at the start of the stream then okay, we'll come back to the questions of that one in a minute. But the first driver then into the lobby then will be Spike. Spike, how are you?
Hello mate, I'm alright, how are yourself?
Yeah, not too bad mate, not too bad. It's not too bad. It's good to be on a Friday when we race around Spa. So with your qualifying went not too bad for you. Give yourself up into a decent spot on a set of soft tyres.
Yeah, I went for the softs, yeah. But no, that wasn't very good, to be honest. But it was good enough for 7th.
Still getting up in P7 though. Major strategy work though to get up yourself onto the podium though. You and your teammate there, spaghetti chips were like fairly close and very close on pace between each other.
Yeah, it was good. It was good fun. He nearly got me in the last lap. I had to pull out all the stops to hold him back. But yeah, it was good fun racing. Myself and Squeezy before that, and then yeah, Spaghetti. I think he was waiting for the last lap. I mean, I was punching the hole in the air, so you know, I was managing fuel, managing ERS. But obviously, I guess I think he was running a bit more downforce than me because he was a lot quicker in the middle sector. But I was good enough out of certain areas just to hold him back just.
Indeed, it looked like, especially towards the near end of the race, he was like literally on the back of you, almost potentially overtaking you, but you managed to look like you stand your ground on that.
Yeah, he must have saved some ERS, like I said, on the last lap because he was much closer. You know, I've been managing it to the gap every other lap, and then the last lap he carried on closing. So I was like, okay, he's obviously got more ERS this lap. And he actually passed me down the Kemmel straight, but I was just close enough just to, you know, manage to hold on to the position around the outside, just. And then into the final chicane, he had another go. Gave him the space, you know, so he had a good race and just about managed to get enough traction out of the final corner to hold it.
Good job. It's always good to see good team, two teams of each same team battling out.
Yeah, good result for McLaren. Yeah, I didn't drive particularly well in that race. I was making mistakes all over the place, but at least I finished. That was the main objective tonight. Obviously, the last 2 races I've crashed. Well, I haven't crashed. I've been crashed into or whatever. So, but yeah, it was good fun. Enjoyed that.
Good. So making up points there for McLaren then. Obviously, the next race, obviously in terms of next league race, will be like 2 weeks' time in
Yes.
Italy.
Indeed.
You'll be looking forward to Italy, potentially getting a good result.
If I'm around, yes. It's my favourite track. It's one I go pretty well on. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Sorry, just to go back to tonight. I think it's the Codemasters still haven't got this quite sorted because Squeezy and I were battling, you know, having good fun. And then up the Kemmel straight, his car, as he was pulling out to overtake me, his car, you know, hit mine. It didn't do any damage to me or anything, but you know, it's like, come on, they still can't sort this, you know, close battling out yet. And I think then into the final chicane, I think he hit me and I saw a bit of front wing go ahead of me, so he must have damaged his wing at that point. And I think then he crashed after that. So and it's a shame because it was good. It was hard racing, to say the least. But it was good fun.
It was like good hard racing for everyone. Very respectful as well, because you also were like battling with Squeezy as well.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, they obviously pitted a bit earlier because of the super softs. So I waited. I pitted on 9, whatever it was, and then I came out just behind Squeezy. I didn't quite get the jump on him, but yeah, sort of got, you know, get past and then get repassed. Obviously, reasonably easily. But it was a good battle.
Good man, good man. So obviously with the race in 2 weeks' time in Italy then, where would you see your hopes? As it's been your favourite track, or do you not want to jinx it?
I do not want to jinx it.
You don't want to jinx it, no? Fair
If I
enough.
can replicate what I did in TTL last year, where I qualified P5, I think, on the harder tyre, less than what was it? Less than 3/10 off the up pole when the delta's about 5 or 6 tenths. So if I can repeat that, then yes. But I might actually go for pole this time. So
Good
then we'll see what
man.
happens. But yeah, as long as I finish, I think, and have a good battle again like tonight, that'll do me.
Good man, good man. Well, thank you for joining us in the box, Spike. And
You were looking a bit lonely, so I thought I'd jump in.
good man. Always love good company in the little lounge. Obviously with Kieran and Andy trashed it last night. I got the leftover scraps. But no, cheers for joining us tonight, Spike. Keep listening out for the if you were listening onto the stream, keep listening out to the answers, and I'll let you know.
Yeah. I already know I've got it right, mate. So it was
Wow.
easy, mate. Easy question. Come on.
Wow, I can't keep it reasonable, but I ain't gonna tell the answers. But
What you should have said is who finished third, because even I can't remember who finished third on that day.
yeah, but like I want to keep like some like memories going. But still, but answers will be revealed on that one shortly. But anyway, cheers for joining us, mate. And I'll catch up with you shortly.
Yeah, take care, mate. Cheers.
Take care, buddy.
Awesome.
So then, next for interviews, I do have Hamilton, although he has got a nap type problem. I will temporarily just see if I can remove him out, and then obviously just re-invite him back in. It might be just a case of connection, but I knew he had connection problems, so we'll try again with Hamilton. If I don't get a response for Hamilton within the next couple of minutes, so we'll carry on into the next program of the stream. Come on, Mr. Hamilton. Let's see if you can join. Don't know if his connection's gonna not allow him to join, but we'll give it one more minute at least. That's unfortunate, Hamilton. I was trying to invite you back in. Obviously, you had nap type problems between me and you. Obviously, I can see you typing it on the stream. That is unfortunate. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate there, Hamilton. It's just maybe because of the nap type. But I'll say it was very unfortunate there for obviously connection to cut out, especially with Julian out for the lead. And feel sorry for you as well on that one, because you look like you're promising going for pole, and just to have that to happen, it's very unfortunate. But still, finishing P2. Yeah, no, it's basically because of the nat type, and obviously with restreaming, I had to try. Otherwise, try and take you out, like try and see if I can get you out of the lobby and then obviously back in again. But obviously PlayStation didn't want to know, which is a shame really, because we would like to really like hear you in the in the box. But, you know, like I said, as you said, like, you know, going into last lap, leading to a good battle. That was indeed an amazing battle there between you and Poe. Very well respected and very well driven between you two. Just unfortunate with the connection at the end, just decided to give way on you and ended our hopes there for the last lap battle straight to the line. But obviously with Monza coming up in 2 weeks, I'd be hoping you to like get like a good result out of there. But like I said, no, it would be better if I can hear you saying it through in the interview. But I do know how you feel in the pain. So then, going through, carrying on with the stream there, obviously I would like to hear the words from Hamilton, but due to connection issue, although he's relaying it through onto the stream comments below. So, the question I asked at the start of the race, before the stream, start of the stream really, was the 1998 season around Spa, full of accidents and galore, and along with multiple car pile-ups. Now, the question I asked was, who was the winner of that race, and if you the bonus answer to that as well, the constructors wise. And the answers I can give to you was Damon Hill in the Jordan. And shout out there for you, Spike in the lobby, if you'd like to unmute yourself if you want. Congratulations on getting that answer correct. Now the question is, I presume you already knew that at the back of your mind.
Knew what? Sorry.
The answer.
To the question?
Yeah.
What do you mean? 2-1? Yeah, it was Damon Hill in a Jordan. Second was Ralf Schumacher after team orders by Eddie Jordan to stop them racing. So,
Indeed.
yeah. I don't remember. Like I said to you, I don't remember who finished third. So if anybody's watching and knows who finished third that day, without looking it up, go for it. I was thinking it was Fisichella, but I'm pretty sure he crashed. So it could have been Verts, perhaps. Don't know. Seems to think it's a Benetton, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Might be Johnny.
I know David Coulthard took out the real. Well, who would have won the race? Schumacher, really.
Yeah. Well, they both took each other out. Obviously, like Schumacher did decide to take more actions to his hands by going down to McLaren's garage and trying to go for the old tussle. But
very true.
But still.
Yeah.
So no, congratulations on that. Before I give you a little bit more of a shout out and more airtime.
What do I win?
Well, I ain't got a trophy, but just like, you know, a man of knowledge. How about that? The man of knowledge. How about that?
Only on that particular question.
Still.
Right.
Cool. Well, congratulations on that one as well, Spike. Right then, going off to the programs coming up then for the next following week. We have got on Sunday, we have the TTL F2, which is the start of season 2 for that, which will be live in Australia and also in Bahrain on Sunday. Australia being 8 o'clock and Bahrain being at 8:45. So I hope you can join us then for TTL F2 there on this Sunday. And then running on through the week, we have got on Tuesday, we have got the TTL F1, which will be live with very own Kieran and Andy. And that will be at China at 8 PM, so don't miss us for that one. On Wednesday though, at 8:30, we have got the interleague battle between Amazing G Racing versus TTL TTG for Wednesday, and I believe they are hosting it around on this side, so hopefully we will get stream link and we'll let you know what has happened on there. Obviously I'll be taking part in their racing on Wednesday as well. So be interesting to see what results we can get on the second leg, because it's the second leg this time round. And then swing back into formation on Thursday. We have got next race after China. We have got Baku. Again, live with Kieran and Andy. Next Friday will be the in-season Challenge Cup. So it won't be Monza next week. It will be the in-season Challenge Cup. Monza will be the week after. So obviously the in-season Challenge Cup will be at 8 PM, always same time as it is would be for normal league procedures. And it will be racing in the Ferrari 2002 around Brazil. So a little bit of fun and games and all the fun and joys of the Classic Cup. So the Ferrari 2002 coming out underneath the blankets to race around Brazil. So be all fun and games along with the weather as well on to top it off. And then obviously the week after for TTFL we'll be back into the league racing the week after, next Friday. So that is the lineup coming up for all this week. So please feel free to tune in on the selected times, as I said, and also the selected days I also said as well, especially on Wednesday to watch us as well racing against Amazing Q. So then that is the end of the stream. Thank you so much for everyone to join in. Been a pleasure as always. And I will see you all next week on the same time next Friday for the in-season Challenge Cup around Brazil. Thank you so much. Been a pleasure as always. I've been Steph. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
And end of the stream.